I'm going to tell you about the one thing that is wrecking your skin, and it's not what you think. It's blue light at night. Many traditions talk about the effect of the sun and the moon, and we think that might be woo. Think about how the sun affects you. When it is bright outside, that's a very different context in your life than when it is dark. And I'm not going to talk about astrology again right now in this video, but that is astrology. The Hindu tradition of astrology is called Jyotish, which means the science of light. So we live on a planet with a day-night cycle, and we evolved along with this day-night cycle. And what we're doing in our modern world is living under fluorescent lights, and so like not getting any sunlight during the day. I made a video about sunscreen, and it's also kind of about sun worship. Getting bright sun during the day is very important. I'm still mastering that practice because you have to come to it as a practice because the world is not set up for you to get sunlight during the day and darkness at night. So more and more I consider this like more and more important, and I'm more and more militant about it. But the sun affects you, and other lights affect you. And you're not smarter than nature, and you don't live outside of nature. Your body is of nature. It is just as of the earth as a forest ecosystem. And you're gonna have to give it back. There's not like a popular discourse around the gap between stuff like emotions and mental processes and then like physical materiality. In this video, I'm talking about something wrecking your skin, and that's on the physical material level, but also your well-being, your psychological well-being, and I made a video about this, is super important for your skin. Because a tense, stressed out person doesn't have good skin. I'm kind of tense and stressed out right now, and as you can see, I'm inflamed. I'm just gonna keep making jokes about this. It's because I'm trying to like make YouTube videos and have a part-time job, and that's kind of stressful. So the blue light at night, all of your normal lights, nobody taught us this. They are not good for you. We suffer from a lack of darkness at night, and darkness amounts to a nutrient when in the proper time in our lives, which is at night. Blue light is everything. So, you know on those nature shows where the mama sea turtle lays her eggs and buries them, and then she goes back into the ocean, and then there's the perilous nature show narrative of the baby turtles trying to get to the sea, and that's perilous enough because of all the predators, and like only a few make it. So I think this specific anecdote was in Brazil. So the baby turtles, they do this at night, and they use, so people say it's woo to like observe the cycles of the sun and the moon. But the full moon was used for hunting. So the full moon affects you. It's very pragmatic. It's actually not woo at all. There just ends up being things you can triangulate mathematically that you can't quite see, which is also something that science does. And if you think my use of the word astrology negates everything else I'm saying, then this is not the place for you. The baby turtles, they use the moon reflecting off of the ocean to find the ocean. But in this place in Brazil, there's like a big city on the ocean front, and the baby turtles, they're walking in the wrong direction and they never get to the ocean. What we're doing to our bodies with blue light is the same. There's something that our bodies are programmed to do and want to do, and they want to do something good for us. In our case, it's produce melatonin, and I'll tell you why that's good, other than making you sleepy. In the baby turtle's case, it's get them into the ocean so that they can live their turtle life, instead of being hit by a car or like wandering through a city for eternity and slowly starving. We live in this domesticated world. We've built this entire world outside of nature, and it's offered us things that we couldn't possibly have that are very nice, and it's also offered us a lot of things that have had consequences that we didn't foresee when we started using those inventions widely. So one thing that blue light does at night is it keeps us awake. So if you're having trouble sleeping, how much are you looking at your phone or your iPad or your computer or your television and with the lights on? Any light that is not like a candlelight or firelight or like a red light that's designed to take all these blue light spectrum rays out is going to make you feel awake when you're supposed to feel sleepy. One thing that melatonin does is make you feel sleepy. Normal indoor lighting is sabotaging all of your skincare strategies. I mean, on this channel, I'm here to tell you that a lot of your skincare strategies are sabotaging the health and beauty of your skin. But even if you are doing everything right, if you're still just living in a world where you think you can just have the lights on all night, you are mistaken. And I'll put some articles below about blue light at night and increased risk of cancer, because what the blue light does, it keeps you awake. That's one thing. It turns off your body's production of melatonin. In the wild, when we were wild beings, about 3 hours after our last glimpse of blue light, so about 3 hours after sunset, the production of melatonin would begin. 3 hours after your last glimpse of blue light. So even if you're sitting in candlelight and then you go and like turn the bathroom light on, the 3 hours starts all over again. Because the other thing that melatonin does, aside from make you drowsy, is function within your body as a powerful antioxidant. Melatonin has made you drowsy, lulled you to sleep, and then it goes to work being an antioxidant. So all of your creams that are like, this is full of antioxidants, you're smearing those on your skin, you're sipping butylene glycol into your bloodstream, and you're denying yourself antioxidants made by your own body by sitting in blue lights all the time, by not observing darkness at night. It's a big deal, and it's completely glossed over. Nobody talks about it. The world and the economy as it is now wants you to interact with screens that emit blue light. And also, sometimes we have to. I have to sometimes. I'm trying to build my life around not having to do that, but sometimes I still have to do that. And I have strategies that I'll get into if you have to use a screen at night. Some of the studies I'll link to talk about how melatonin suppresses, quote unquote, neoplastic growth, which is the growth of cancerous tissues. So if you're out wearing sunscreen to keep yourself from getting cancer, but then you're wearing blue light all the time and you're hiding from the sun, you're denying your body a very basic cycle. Bright light during the day, and sunlight is the type of light you can't get from any the brightest light that humans make does not rival the sun at all. Humans make lights that like can mitigate the seasonal affective disorder, the like kind of depression feeling you get from not getting enough sunlight, but it's still not the same as sunlight. So you need bright light during the day, and then you need darkness at night. And that helps you with your body's own cycle of sleeping and waking. And something that your body likes to do when you're asleep is send antioxidants all throughout the land of your body. So blue light at night reduces the presence of melatonin. Melatonin is something other than like a sleeping pill from the 90s. It is an antioxidant. We evolved around firelight, and that light is very different from the blue lights we've invented now. The light bulb, what a wonderful invention. And now we're learning about how the light bulb is not so great for us. It's helping to cause cancer, and nobody talks about it. But if you see somebody wearing funny yellow-red glasses, that's what that's all about. Also, you can have candles, but like, you gotta be careful. Like, that's how like fires burned down entire cities in the 1800s. And I know our houses are all pumped full of flame retardants now, so it's a little harder to burn the place down, but you got to be really careful. So how you get the blue light out of your life is up to you. And you can share in the comments below what you do. The situation that blue light creates, if you have a lifetime of just not getting any bright sunlight and also not getting any darkness at night, it's a situation that's similar to smoking. One thing I use if I have to use a screen at night, which is like kind of regularly these days, again, like with my beauty supplies video that I made, I go through phases in my life of like living a certain way and then not. Right now I'm going through a time where I'm needing to use screens at night more often than not. I'd like to just like not interact with technology at night. Observe the night like a sacred period of time. That's for different things than during the day. There's an app, it's like a desktop app called Flux, and it's spelled F.Lux. And with that app, you can time it with the sunrise and sunset so that your computer gently gets more and more red and less blue into the evening and night. So I used that for years. And then Apple came out with Night Shift, which is like, it dims the blueness, but it doesn't do it nearly as much as Flux. I use them both. I have it turn on Night Shift with the sunrise and sunset and Flux. I want it as yellow as possible. Early on, when I became aware of this blue light situation, I got a little film for my iPhone that I would put on. But now there's a thing you could do with your iPhone where you can set it up so that when you click the side button 3 times, it becomes extremely red. So there are some things you can't see at night. And it's even more red and less blue than the night shift setting. Another thing I use are the blue light blocking glasses at night, and I look really cool. And you have to make sure you get the ones that are blocking the right spectrum, the science behind it. I guess I can do another whole video about that, but if you get the right ones that are blocking the right spectrum, otherwise you will wear them and look really cool for no reason. So apps glasses, you could get films to go over your screen, you could not use screens at night, but we live in a world where a lot of people have to, including me. I mean, I can be better about setting up my life so I don't have to, but no matter how hard I try, sometimes I'm just super creative at night. I don't know. Anyway, it's very serious. It's wrecking your skin. It's similar to smoking, and you didn't know you've been doing it. That keeps you from like doing things at night. Yeah. Instead of going to the club, maybe you just go to the firelit drum circle. We change the activities that we do. Maybe you're wearing your cool, super cool blue blocking glasses out in public. You're not supposed to drive with them, by the way. So that inhibits your movement. It makes you have to observe night and want to tell the others so that our world can change back into a world that observes the day and the sun in the way that we evolved to do, and observes the night and the lack of sun in the way that our bodies evolved. One of the articles I linked to is they found out that nurses who worked the night shift consistently were more susceptible to breast cancer than the nurses who were working the day shift. And so this is one way that they found out that inhibiting the presence of melatonin at night consistently throughout your life, melatonin fights the type of cell growth that cancer is, because melatonin is an antioxidant. This is just me repeating myself over and over again in this video, but you get the point. So observe the night. Your skin will thank you over time. I've been doing it for several years. I think I was turned on to this information around 2015 when I was 33 or 34. Now I'm 41 years old. I'm not perfect about it. Like, there are some times when I have to go out into the world and be under blue lights. I have a retail job right now, and for a while I was being scheduled in night shifts, which I hated, but that's the way it is. And so, yeah, it makes you look at like your jobs and the way the whole world is set up a little bit differently. Okay, like this video, subscribe to the channel. It helps me make more videos by doing both of those things. You can also subscribe to my newsletter, which is very good, and it's a little different than these videos.